At the end of the day, this conference, what you're about to talk about tomorrow, these media businesses, the web businesses that I'm seeing and hearing, that's how we're going to transform health in this country. So I've been involved just in the last 24 hours with 3 shows. I'm not going to go through them in detail, but I'll give you tips about why each of them might work for us. The first was a show I taped this morning. And we talked about new innovations, some of the biggest hospitals in the country, what are they doing differently? And one interesting case comes to the issue of urge incontinence, which most of you never think about, but if you're a woman, you know about, which means without wanting to, stuff comes out from down below. Now this is a male-centric audience, but I can tell you for a female audience it's shameful, it's awkward, you don't want to have that problem. There are treatments that work, but you got to go find them because medicine's not offering them to you in a way that's accessible to you. So when you give the bully pulpit to someone who can deliver that message in a meaningful way, change happens. Second example, we're doing a big show tomorrow on real age. How many of you have taken the real age test? Put your hands up. Good. The real age test is the best barometer for how old your body thinks you are. So if you think about how to keep score in life, you can keep score by how long you live. Hard to do that. By the time you know it's a little late. You can keep score, right, in many other ways. But if you know what your real age is, how old your body thinks you are, as opposed to how old your driver's license says you are, you can begin to change that number. That all of a sudden becomes very empowering to you because I can treat you like an adult. I can see if you eat red meat more than 3 times a week, you lose a couple months of life. If you smoke cigarettes or have high blood pressure, the number 1 cause of aging is blood pressure, you lose 10 years of life. Now you decide. Cheat on the meat, check your blood pressure. Those kinds of decisions adults can deal with. And the final example was someone I had on this afternoon, Randy Jackson. You may know him from American Idol. Randy Jackson, in the middle of that show, as when it was first launching, had bariatric surgery. And we had a very open, soulful conversation about why he had that. Now here he is shrinking in size. And for anyone who knows Simon Cowell, it made him jealous to see someone getting skinny like that. And so, you know, you start to have conversations that are more in the public sphere about operations that historically were always sort of taboo to talk about. Things like bariatric surgery were a sign that you couldn't do it on your own. So now you start to tackle these ailments that we have historically thought of as, you know, your emotional issues, beginning to realize more that oftentimes we can help those with more invasive approaches. But how do you get that to come together? And that's where I'm going to leave you all. That's where I think the future lies for us. I think we're working into a place where we can meet patients where they are with new platforms. I think we have technologies now. I'll give you an example. If you can measure blood sugar transcutaneously, all of a sudden you have an ability not just to help people figure out if they're borderline diabetic, which 1 in 3 of us are, but you might be able to help them figure out, are you really hungry? Or is that something else driving you to eat? I think we're going to have tech married to emotion. So we'll have the ability to influence people when they're about to make an emotional decision, because few people make decisions when they're really cool and calm and collected, especially when they make bad decisions, they're usually emotional about them. We have ways of nudging that. I think the car should become an examination room. Think about this. We spend tons of time in our cars. You can weigh someone, take their stress level, you can figure out their blood pressure easily, you can do heart rate variability on the steering wheel, you can respond in stressful situations and gauge that. It's a perfect stress test. All that becomes something that we've sort of left to the side. I see that coming to us in the future. In fact, I don't think you're going to be able to go to any kind of public event or gathering place or a mall without having some type of a kiosk that can rapidly audit how your health is going within the next 5 to 10 years. Someone, I know they're already out there, but someone's going to take that and scale it to a very big place because we have all those technologies, from reading your eyes to checking how your toes are doing. And finally, I think we have the opportunity to get involved in venues like we're doing the next month in Dallas, where we're taking over Cowboy Stadium and with the military doing one of these huge 15-minute screening tests that we do, where we give in 5 minutes 5 key numbers you have to know about, which you should all know, by the way: your blood pressure, your blood sugar, your blood cholesterol, plus your weight and your waist. And then once you get that information in 5 minutes, spend 10 minutes explaining how you change it. Because the big message is all of this can take you to a new level.